Yun ang,
Yeah,
pero
kasi
ngayon, yung panahon kasi ni Pinoy, malayo na eh. No? Almost 30 years na yun eh. So, ibig sabihin, baka pwede namang balikan yung usapin na one term lang ang presidente.
So you think
it's too short for a good president
and too long for a bad president.
president.
We always say that. Yeah.
Kaya ang proposal nun, hindi pa pwedeng yung US model. At least 2 terms.
Yeah. Which we used to have pre-Marcos.
Yeah.
Yung 4 years.
Yes.
Although I think Marcos was the only one who managed to get reelected.
Yes.
And then the rest is history. Therefore, the trauma. Well, Indonesia is an interesting case, diba? We'll talk about it very shortly because in Indonesia, 5 years and then pwede re-electable. So under Joko Widodo, grabe nag-transform Indonesia, became a global power, massive infrastructure development, etc. And yet, here we are, Indonesia, in the midst of a meltdown.
Yes. Pero the more modern countries like Europe, walang term limit. Because it's a parliamentary system basically.
Vote of no confidence, tapos ka na.
Tapos ka na, pero pwede ka magpatuloy kung magaling ka. Diba? You can be prime minister forever. No.
France is, I think, also 2 5-year term. Because Macron
presidential lang France.
Kaya nga, so pwede rin 2 5-year term. So my point is, you have so many models whereby you have presidents 10 years in power and they step down. Jokowi stepped down eventually. Macron is obviously will step down.
Pero you left the mark.
And left mark, that's my point.
Dahil kasi 2 terms, may magagawa ka. 1 term ang hirap. No? Dahil lalo ngayon, halimbawa, institutionalize yung mga problem. Institutional yung corruption. Diba? So, yan ba? Halimbawa, Vince Dizon, practically, ang meron lang sa kanya ngayon, 2 years.
Yeah.
No? So, anong gagawin niya in 2 years?
Not much,
no?
yeah. I mean, it's more like a hemorrhage, controlling the hemorrhage. No? But Sir Ronald, before we go a little bit to the next level, because I mean, I mentioned Indonesia for a reason, because this is the extreme case whereby people take their fate into their own hands. Completely nawala na sila ng kumpiyansa. Did you ever imagine Prabowo Subianto, a former commando human rights violator, son-in-law of Suharto dictator, the most macho Putin, naked guy, ngayon ay, hindi, sorry na po, tatanggalin na namin yung mga, you saw, I never imagined Prabowo will be like that because they seem very scared by what's going on.
And these are young people. These are not political parties.
These are Gen Z.
This is not the opposition.
Yeah.
Hindi ito yung organized labor. These are unorganized youth.
And yung mga parang ito yung mga grab drivers nila. Alam mo yung mga precariats. Gig economy. Yeah,
no?
nagsama students. Kaya nakakatakot sa elites yan
tapos yung galit nila, pero mo, sinusunog yung mga yung mga government
luxury cars,
offices,
yung parliament.
Nilulut yung mga members of parliament.
Yeah.
So, ibig sabihin yung outlets nila, talagang nagkaroon ng outlet. No? Kung lang yan, nag-increase lang ng sahod tsaka benefits yung mga members of parliament. Diba?
Pero $60,000 is for Indonesia.
Hindi. Sa housing, $3,000. No? Ganon.
Ay, $6,000. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
$3,000. Galit yung tao.
Pero ang problema, trapo talaga yung mga leaders
sa atin,
nila.
billions yung pandito. Diba?
And yet, kaya nga sabi ko, nakakaya na hanggang parang pasaring Edo Manzano level lang ginagawa. Parang name, I'm like, okay, I like what Vico did, saying dapat gawin natin kadiri ang corruption. Pero matagal na tayo nandidiri dapat dito Ang problema is, okay, what are we gonna do next? Obviously, bago ako, may petition na nga sa akin bago ako ma-red tag or counter tag, hindi ko sinasabi, let's go Indonesia. What I'm saying is, we should go beyond what we have right now, which is news cycles, pa-cute, hearings, wala naman napuntan, yung formally, ano nangyari. But okay, let's talk about one of the solutions being offered. Mayors for Good Governance, led by our good mayor in Baguio, our family friend. Basically, halos lahat na lang ng mayor, lahat ng dynasties, lahat ng soft DDS, ex-DDS, lahat na nandyan. And si Lenny nga, observer status. Ano ba to? Parang,
full member na siya yesterday.
As of yesterday. Pero meron parang caveat parang may dialogue partner ba to? Okay, let's talk about this because Magalong is positioning his movement as the way to shake things up. Short of another coup, an Indonesian insurrection, or total breakdown in our fiscal situation. What do you think about it?
Well,
the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, maganda yan Dahil very compelling yung message.
Very compelling, yeah.
Pero dapat yung organisasyon or yung movement mas maging circumspect. Huwag sila basta-basta magpapasok ng kahit sino.
Sino-sino. Yeah.
Dapat i-double, triple check nila. Ano bang track record nito? Ito ba ay dynasty? Ito ba ay may kaso? no? Ito ba ay katanggap-tanggap sa kanyang constituency, no, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. Baka yung iba ron, at least yung nakita ko ay merong mga hindi
Nice.
bagay
Yeah,
dun sa grupo, no? Hindi icons of good governance, no? Pero nakikita ko diyan, hindi naman yung papunta sa isang RevGov, no? Ang gusto lang nila i-maximize yung landscape sa kasalukuyan na merong emerging disenchantment dito sa mga nangyayari, lalo na sa corruption sa flood control, which is but the tip of the iceberg, no? Pero tingin ko ay ang
Wait. You're saying $9.5 billion
Mm.
is just tip of the iceberg because, we're only talking about flood control. What about the bridges, the roads, the buildings?
Yes,
Like, ang dami pa, di ba?
the bills,
The
no?
bill, yeah,
Oo,
like dami, yeah.
So,
Insertions right and
di
left.
ba,
Yeah.
pinag-uusapan mo yung insertions, which is about 370 billion. Pero, paano yung NEP na padded na?
Right.
No?
Correct.
Tingin ko, baka at least 1 trillion dyan, padded na. No? So, yan yung problema sa isang institutionalized system of corruption. No? Hindi pa natin binibilang dyan yung incompetence, yung inefficiency,
Yeah,
yung
just
stupidity,
kapalpakan.
no?
Yeah.
Na
medyo, marami
sa
din.
gobyerno, no? Ang daming leakage, hindi lang corruption, kundi stupidity, no?
Yeah.
Oo. So,
Speaking of stupidity, I mean, Sara Duterte, our genius vice president, she had advice on flood control, di ba? Meron siyang advice, sabi niya, dahil parati siya bumibisita all around the world, she knows the best practices daw.
wow, I'm
So
impressed.
she was giving advice to the government for free, Nagparinig siya. At sabi niya,
Amazing.
katulad ng ginagawa namin sa Davao. Kamusta pala yung flood control sa Davao, sir?
Kakawalat lang ngayon ni Senator Ping Lacson. No? Paano ma-absorb ng isang maliit na distrito ang 51 billion?
Right.
Pesos.
Kanina nakikinig ka, narinig ko.
Yan, di ba? Yun. Yan, binalata rin na ngayon. No? Kaso, siya lang yata yung bumanat. Paano yung mga ibang mga senador?
Ayun,
No?
mga insertion
Nandun.
boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
tahimik si Bato. Lalo na after sagutin ni Diskaya na nagsimula siya noong 2016 na magkaroon ng kontrata sa gobyerno. Di ba?
Flood control,
Oo.
yeah.
Tapos medyo natahimik na rin si Bongo nung lumabas sa mga news outlets na noong 2017, yung company ng kanyang tatay, si LTG Builders, ay may kontrata with the Diskaya Group. So, yun ang nakikita natin ngayon dito, no? So, yung mga napaka-self-righteous na mga senador na banat ng banat, nakakadiri kayo, no? 'Di ba? Ngayon parang bumabalik sa kanila yung kanilang kinakadirian, no? So,
Dapat kaya ginawa yung pinapanood ko ngayon si Jinggoy, yung isa yung ka-age ko lang, yung 37 lang ata. I will invoke my right against Guilty ka agad! May mga ghost project. I will invoke. Baka ganun na kami sa Ronald kasi mukhang guilty talaga itong mga to eh. Kasi baka may masabi eh. Masabi mamaya, madisappear itong mga to.
Diba?
Meron kami project sa Davao, daming nga ghost.
Hindi, siguro nakita niya si Diskaya. Salita ng salita. Palubog ng palubog sa sariling kumuloy. Kaya nag-invoke na lang siya.
Guilty. I invoke mo. Tapos sabi ni Jinggoy, bata ka pa. No? Batang-bata pa lang.
Nakikita mo yung bubble, thought bubble siya. Sabi niya, ayoko magaya kay Diskaya. Ang dal-dal.
si Diskaya presko, no? Bago pa yung hair niya, gano'n. Tapos, yumaman kami no 2016 na. Tapos, dami nga namin talo sa 470 lang nakuha namin. Tapos, pero yung ibang project, nakuha ng ibang company nyo. Wala ka ng takas yan eh. Like, palubog talaga ng palubog.
Yun po, yung more than 40 luxury cars, 28 lang po ang sa amin.
Tsaka,
So, ano yung iba? Ay, sa company namin.
tapos yung 28, hinahati ng anak nila na 4. Kasi kailangan nila mag-rotate naman everyday. Nakakaya naman.
Everyday.
Katulad natin, sir, para isa lang car natin everyday. Nakakaya naman, sir.
May coding kasi.
Ay, oo.
May
pala.
coding.
Pero hindi naman tayo sumusunod.
Tapos, yung sasakyan mo sa umaga, dapat iba sa
Ay, oo.
hapon. Dapat iba rin sa gabi.
At pag umulan, kunin mo yung may umbrella
Yung
na may
may
Hermes.
payong.
Wait.
Oo, diba?
Pakilabas yung umbrella.
Oo. Actually, nakabili ako sa Green Hills na umbrella Hermes.
By the way, yung Chevrolet ay nag-offer ng free umbrella with every unit you buy right now, Sir Ronald.
Inggit ka lang kasi,
Baka
Richard. Yun ang problema sa'yo.
Hindi lang ako inggit. Talagang, hindi kasi ako mayaman, Sir Ronald. Kaya sabi ni Attorney Jez Falsi, sabi niya, sabi ko kay Jez Falsi, 40 cars! 4 na Rolls Royce. Why would you get 4 Rolls Royce? Richard, di ka kasi mayaman. Iba yung Rolls Royce na may pangpalamig ng champagne. Iba yung Rolls Royce na may Hermes leather. Iba yung Rolls Royce na may umbrella. Each of them may different sila, sir.
Kaya nga ikaw ay isang political analyst lang na mapagpanggap. Sabi ng isang senador. Kaya totoo naman yung sinasabi niya. Kaya huwag ka na mag-aspire. No?
Hindi. In fairness, sabi niya, nagpapanggap ako ng political analyst. Hindi niya sinabi nagpapanggap ako. Kasi alam naman nila, mas stylish ako sa kanya.
Advocate ka raw eh.
Advocate.
Insulto naman sa mga
Sir Ronald.
Katulad namin.
Oo. At saka, Sir Ronald,
Kami advocates talaga.
ako kasi public intellectual so medyo andun pa tayo. But Sir Ronald, speaking of this mayor for good governance thing, ako in defense of our mayor, obviously I'm not happy na he's parang silent siya sa lahat ng ginawa ng parang formally, okay? And on the record, both on my show and yung kabilang channel na paborito mo, he said openly, parang may utang na loob ako sa mga Duterte dahil tinulungan yung Baguio nung pandemic time. Totoo naman kasi wala naman
okay naman yung utang na loob na yun. Pero mas may utang na loob ka sa bayan.
Sa bayan, exactly. Yun nga yung point ko. Nag-smile naman siya. Actually, in a sense that parang nakita niya yung criticism. Pero ako naman, parang...
Pero ang paliwanag kasi niya, hindi problema ni Digong. Problema ng mga tao niya. Yun ang kanya paliwanag.
Oh, he says all the time the same thing, which I don't buy also. Wala bang command responsibility yan?
Tama.
At hindi rin kasalanan ni Bongo rin?
Saka hindi ako naniniwala.
Sino ba yung mga tao na yun? Kung hindi rin Bongo, hindi rin si Digong, sino na lang natira?
Lalo na sa
Harry
isang
Roque?
Duterte government na napaka-strong ng presidente mo.
Yeah.
Hindi pwedeng hindi niya alam yan. At the very least,
You have to
meron
clear
siyang
it.
blessing. Sabi niya, yung tokhang ay implementation ang may problema. Come on, no? Come on. Yung implementation.
Yeah, medyo apologist ang dating. Sayang nga. But, well, of course, the other criticism is that baka nahirapan siya because wala masyadong big infra project sa Baguio. Maybe this is his way to, be there. But ako naman, again, well, due respect to our good mayor, he credited me on the record na actually, I recommended back in 2019, people can check that, yung magsama sila ni Vico and other good mayors, parang basically at the LGU level, bottom up, diba? And he said naman, thankful siya na I kind of pushed for that idea. So what about him working with Vico and now Lenny? Isn't that a good thing? So we might criticize Magalang for being a bit silent on Digong time, but can't they create some sort of balance? In fact, Vico is now like the Ronald Llamas of fiscalizing, right? Meron siyang banat by Vico. Meron na siya, di ba? Every hearings, meron tayong analysis yan, tapos banat na naman siya. This is interesting, Vico.
Baka maging political analyst na rin siya after ang term.
Yun ang tingin ko, actually.
Sabi niya, hindi siya tatakbo.
Exactly. Kaya nag-worry kami ngayon, maging kalaban natin siya sa Ronald. Kaya wala tayong choice.
Malay mo, baka sumama dito sa podcast mo, di ba?
Hindi, kaya nga magpolitiko na lang tayo sa Ronald kasi di natin matatalo si Vico.
Tsaka hindi mo kaya i-bully yun.
Bakit?
Ha?
Bakit hindi mo kaya
Inaaway niya lahat ng mga bullies eh.
Actually, nakakatakot siya. Actually, nakakatakot si Vico ngayon. Talagang sasampalin ka ng resibo, no?
Pero
I like this version of
ako
him.
sa isang birthday party, nabalitaan ko na may bumabanat sa akin.
Dinefend ka niya?
Dinipensahan ako ni Vico.
No, shoot.
Oh.
Uy, pogi talaga si Vico, wow. He's the man.
At least alam niya kung sino didepensahan.
Hindi ka tulad mo na hindi mo ako dinidepensahan, sir. Nilalaglag mo
Hindi
pa.
naman. Ibang paraan lang.
Ay,
Katulad ng tinawagan ako, nung mga nagsampa sa'yo ng...
Oo nga eh.
Akala ko contempt. Diba? Inaway ko sila.
Akala ko babarilin mo na.
Diba?
Okay. Para akong Mark Oleta eh. Thank you very much, Senator Soto. I think you have finished your 5 minutes. Papunta tayo sa last word, but this is important part. Okay, as we speak, the situation of General Torre is in flux. My understanding, talking to him and other people is nothing final has been said to me, and of course, everything is confidential. Pero ang pagkaintindi ko is, he wants to take a break, sit it out until probably the end of this month. And then I think bukas na siya potentially to the idea of taking up a kind of parang yung kay Frederick Go, yung special secretary czar situation na hindi dadaan sa commission and appointments kasi yayarin siya ng mga DDS senator. Do you think that realistically makes sense? Because the last time we had this show, he was the champion. And now suddenly, he's kind of in the air. Ako naman, Sir Ronald, I think it's dangerous if he's out of government. Kasi sasampan siya ng kaso sa loob, awayin siya ng Duterte. Because kung wala siyang ginawang mali, ba't mo siya tinanggal? So they have to justify it. And you had people from NAPOLCOM already implying that they could file charges against him because nakalutang ngayon yung PNP. Right? Naka-interim pa rin. He's the only 4-star general. So he cannot hold the institution down. So my suggestion is move on and move up-ish. But he has to negotiate it from a position of strength. So that's my advice to General Torre. And in theory, Torre being the security czar, anti-corruption guy, might be also good for his own career down the road. More like a Phoenix. Kasi your favorite lawyer, na zero pa rin yung success rate niya, na-ban na naman talagang final na yung Duterte youth na yan, at hindi bumabata, at may billboard rin yata na napaka-interesting. Sabi niya, Icarus to. Ako hindi. Pwede siya maging Phoenix ulit because we know that Torre had some detours in his career. It's not like this guy had a straight way up, diba? What is your read on this Torre situation? Because he's arguably, all due respect to Vince Dizon, your guy, I think Torre is still way more popular than anyone else within the inner circle of the president. It's not even close.
Yes. Ang isa kasing problema ni Torre, no? Yung Icarus aspect niya, he flew too high.
Too fast,
no?
yeah.
Pero yung kanyang rise is also due to the government. He was a creation of the Marcos government. No? Imagine mo, in less than a year, no? He became from a unknown to the most popular
Actually,
government
a bit
official.
marginalized pa nga siya eh.
So, gumanon siya. Ikalawa ay, siyempre, yung sense of worth mo, lalaki rin. At minsan, may mga...
Alam natin yan, Sir Ronald.
Meron kang tinutuntungan ng mga landmines na pwede mo sanang naiwasan kung ikaw ay more circumspect.
Circumspect, yeah, exactly.
At ikatlo ay hindi tayo privy doon sa mga dahilan sa kanyang pagtanggal. Ang nakikita lang natin yung mga surface issues like yung mga appointments, no, yung ego, no, yung mga yun ang nakikita natin. Pero probably may deeper reason sa kanyang pagtanggal, no? At ang problema...
I think it's a combination. My understanding is that. It's not just that thing you're thinking about. I think it's a combination.
Problema yung optics.
It's bad.
Yun ang problema ng gobyerno.
Yeah, the optics was bad. Yeah.
From the very start kasi, dapat binigyan siya ng graceful exit.
Yeah.
At kasama sa graceful exit is an offer ng posisyon.
Immediately.
Hindi after the fact.
Oo. No? Parang konsuelang dating.
Parang consuelo de bobo.
Yeah,
diba?
hindi
Pampalubag loob.
Yeah.
Kaya ikaw din, nagdadalawang isip kang tanggapin. No?
Oo.
So, tama yung sagot niya. Babakasyon muna ako at nagbigay siya ng cake kay Laila de Lima nung birthday.
Why do you think he was doing that? Was he saying, I can be part of this opposition leadership?
Maraming mixed messages doon. Na una, hindi ako dependent lang sa inyo.
On admin, yeah.
Acceptable ako sa ibang grupo. Hindi siya magduduterte.
Obviously.
At masama loob niya sa Marcos. So, yung natural na pupuntahan niya is the pink.
Yeah.
At in-emphasize niya yon by bringing the cake sa birthday nila.
Pero red ribbon lang daw, sabi.
Dahil,
Murahin daw. Grabe mga tao mag-comment,
Hindi naman siya nepo baby eh.
Oh,
So,
simpleng
yan naman
tao
siya.
siya.
So,
Actually, that was a good move,
oo.
Bring a simple cake, yeah.
Habang nagkakagulo, no, sabi niya, do I look bitter?